Hello everyone, welcome back to Humble Acres. My name is Jordan, and today we're going to start working on the John Deere A. So we have quite a few different things we need to do with this. The major one is replacing the head gasket because coolant seems to find its way into the cylinders, so that's never a good thing. Let's see if we can get this thing started. I have not started this since the last video it was in, which was probably last fall, maybe? I don't know. It's been a while, so it usually isn't the easiest thing to get started, but after messing with the timing and stuff last year, I think it was last year, it should start a little better anyway, but the starter in this isn't any good. We'll see what happens. I also did learn that there is an accessory to start this manually. So what you do is you take this cover off here, like that, and then right on the end of the flywheel right here, you can kind of see there's a little bar in there. So there's a little like adapter that goes on there, and then the steering wheel is supposed to come off of there and then go onto that adapter, and then you can spin the steering wheel and that spins the flywheel, which in turn will start the tractor. So I found one of those little adapters on eBay for like $70, but I was thinking I could probably make something because I don't want to have to take the steering wheel off of there to start it. So I might end up just making something that I can just shove on there and spin it to start it by hand, because starters for this are pretty expensive. So that may be also something that we do. But for now, let's see if we can get started, get up to the house. Alright, so I got fuel back into the carburetor. I just opened up the fuel diaphragm here until it started dripping out of the carburetor. So we should have fuel in there now. I have the pressure relief valves open on both cylinders. I put a battery in there. Hopefully it's good. It's been charging for a while. I got my work shoes on too, just in case you didn't know. Alright, let's go full choke, full throttle, neutral, clutch is disengaged. That's in there. Should be good to go to try this, so let's see what happens. We are smoking this starter by really bad. Yeah, the terminal, the wire end up here is glowing red, so, oh, this thing hates me. It really does. Well, I'm not really sure what's happening, but we're dripping something and then it just stalled here, and I'm kind of thinking, well, honestly, I don't know. I kind of think we might be flooding it because there is an awful lot of gasoline around the carburetor. I don't really know though. I'm gonna say we're probably flooding it just from the smell. So yeah, I'm just gonna tap on this with a wrench or something and hopefully it'll be okay. There, I'm sure it's fixed now. Let's see if we can start it back up, I suppose, and get it taken over there. The problem is we need to figure out what to do with the exhaust and intake, because I'm fairly confident I'm not going to be able to fit it in the garage because it's too tall. I could try taking some air out of the front tires if it's close enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get my car out of the garage and then see if somehow we can get it in here. Well, let's see if we can get it to start again. It was already running, so hopefully it'll be easier, but... That's a lot of gasoline. The cylinders aren't full of fuel either because I have the pressure reliefs open and there's no fuel coming out of those. It's just all pouring out of the carburetor. I don't get it. We're definitely going to hit the exhaust and intake on the garage door there. I'm really tempted just to take some air out of the tires, because once the tires get on this concrete here, it's going to drop down some more. So if I just make the front tires flat, there's a chance that maybe they'll clear. So I got it pushed forward off of the ledge of the concrete there into the garage floor, and it dropped down enough to where I think if I lower the air pressure in the front tires, I can get it through. So I did that. I made them pretty flat, and now it's going to be very close. But we're just going to push it in and see. Hopefully it'll clear. We got it in. Just barely made it. It rubbed the gasket coming in, but it's in here. So now we gotta start tearing it apart. I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's get to it. You can see I got it pulled in the garage here. It's actually been sitting here for quite some time now because I've been working on a bunch of other stuff outside and some other videos that you've seen. But this last week I've also been on vacation. We went out to Colorado, so that was a lot of fun. I did stop this because I wanted to get some lights changed in here, and as you can see, I got all new lights in here. The one downside is they're not quite as bright as the old ones, but they should cooperate with the camera a lot better, so I'm hoping that's the case anyway. Alright, so anyway, back to the John Deere. I have a bunch of parts. Alright, so some of the parts that we got here, Thomas sent me quite a few things. He sent me this valve cover gasket. He also sent me this gasket here, which I'm not 100% sure what it's for. So these two gaskets were from Thomas. he sent me this magneto cap, so, and gasket, so that'll be very nice to put on there. So we got that, and then he also sent these. Oh, here's all the other parts. So it's kind of a tune-up kit. We got spark plug wires. Oh, here's the brake for the clutch. So that's nice. Let's see, we just got a bunch of hardware. I think this is all for rebuilding the clutch. I have another gasket here, which I'm not 100% sure what that one's for either. That's fine. Some spark plugs. And then we have the clutch discs in here. So that's all much appreciated. I didn't ask for any of this, and he just sent it all to me. So thank you very much for that. He also sent me an operator's manual for my sickle mower, John Deere number 5 sickle mower. So that's really cool. I don't have that, so that'll be great and handy. Sent me some nice letters. I'm obviously not going to read all of that because that's a lot, but that was very nice. I did read all of this, just I'm not going to read it on camera. And then, yeah, he sent me this, which is for the, what do you call it? Just the hydraulic valve on the back. Power trowel, that's what it's called. So he sent me this. It's like operator / other thing manual for the power trowel. He adds some notes in here too, and it just shows a really in-depth view on how it works and everything. There's a multi-valve something on there. I haven't had a chance to look at this yet. I'm just kind of starting this project now. And then he also sent me printouts of how to do the clutch and the maintenance and how to replace the discs as well. And then another letter as well. So yeah, I thank him very much for all of this. It is very appreciated and definitely not necessary, but I really do appreciate it. And then I also want to say, on here, this is a letter from Miss Jen. That's all she said, but she's from California, and she just wanted to say thanks for the videos, and so I thank you for your letter. I really do enjoy reading these, so that was awesome to get that as well. And then this is what I bought. This is just some other gaskets in here, new copper washers for the head studs, and then we have the head gasket in there as well. So that's everything that I have for the John Deere. I guess all there is to do now is to get started. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is drain the coolant, or whatever's left of the coolant, because it kind of goes through it, I guess. I don't know if it actually burns it, but it gets into the cylinder, so it probably does burn it. But anyway, we're going to drain that and then start pulling it apart. I don't really want to take all the sheet metal off, but at the same time I kind of do, because the gas tank leaks, so you can't fill it up very far, and I do have a replacement gas tank that my grandma gave me, so it would be kind of nice to just take all that off, but I really don't know how to do that. I haven't really looked into it, but I assume you just take bolts off and take things off. But anyway, for now, we're going to concentrate on the head, and so we'll probably have to take the carburetor off. I think we can leave this manifold on here. We just got to take the carb off, take that exhaust pipe off on the other side, take this coolant hose off on the bottom, and then we should be able to take it off without doing anything else. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I have two 5-gallon buckets here. I think there's only about 5 gallons in here. I watched another video, but it was on a John Deere B, but apparently they're very similar. So this might have more in it. I really don't know. So let's see. That is actually really nice. Not super tight, so that's good. I have a feeling this is gonna make quite the mess. Oh wow, that's gross. Oh man, yep. That got everywhere. hopefully it's enough. It looks a little gross. I mean, it's not super oily or anything, so, oh, well, I spoke way too soon. That's a lot darker there. Oh, that's black there. Okay. Well, that's not the best, but alright. Well, I don't know. That's probably like 6 or 7 gallons, I suppose. So we might want to replace all that because that was pretty gross. We're going to definitely need to flush it out as well. But, I mean, I only got wet everywhere, so that's good. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is take this carburetor off. Just have to get all these little levers and everything off of here, which I'm sure isn't too hard. Set that there where we can lose it. And then we got to get the throttle one out, which I think is that simple. Apparently, it didn't have a cotter pin on the bottom, so cool. Set that up and out of the way. This one I can probably shove back there. Problem solved. We take the fuel line off, which we shouldn't get any fuel through because the bowl's not even on there, so that shouldn't be a problem. So let's get this carburetor off real quick. Grabbed a nice selection of wrenches, and all of them are going to be wrong, of course. Perfect. Okay, so I don't have the right wrench. Why am I missing one? 5/8 to 3/4 inch. You want to hear something funny? I don't have an 11/16 wrench, and I never have. And there's been many times where that's the one that I need, and I just don't have it. It's kind of strange. I really should probably buy one, but it's also a lot of work to go buy something, so yeah. So that's fun. Alright, that's off. Bend that out of the way a little bit. It looks like it's probably 9/16. It sure is. Okay. Probably be a lot easier to take all the sheet metal off, but where's the fun in that? I want to try to do the least amount of work as possible to be able to get to stuff, but in the long run, sometimes it just makes it take even longer. You know what? I'm going to set that there, and then it's going to fall right in the coolant bucket right below. So before I do that, I'm going to set it somewhere else. And I'm also going to move these because I'm going to drop a wrench or something into them. That would be fun. Always love fishing stuff out of coolant buckets. Aren't really super tight either, but they're probably tight enough. You don't want to over tighten them. You can warp the carburetor or something. I don't know. I'm sure that's a thing. I don't know if this one's even going to be able to come out all the way. The bolt, you might actually have to take the bowl off to be able to get this bolt out all the way. Actually, I'm almost positive you're going to need to. Well, it does unthread all the way, but you can't get it out of there. But alright, I got a smaller wrench for those sides. Alright, 7/16 small enough? Yep. Alright, gotta go this way. Wow, these are not tight at all. Like, I mean, it's good they're not seized, I guess, but man, they're just not tight. It's very strange to me, but the other side would probably be better from the other side of the tractor. Oh, completely different size. Alright. Well, I don't think that bolt right there was the correct one. It also is missing a lock washer, which this side has as well, so I definitely think that's not the correct bolt for there. Everything seems to be out of there. Should be able to take this off now. Yeah, there we go. Slides right out. Perfect. And that bolt just stays in there because it's kind of locked in there because of the bowl, so that works. This nut right here is the one I'm most concerned about because it's extremely corroded because it's the exhaust. I think I'm just going to cut these in half and then just get new bolts for this because they're bad. That's all there is to it. I don't want to even think about having to take these off because the end of this bolt is just like non-existent, so we're definitely not going to take that off. well, that worked out as good as it could. We're gonna have to hammer those out probably. It works. Oh. Well, that just falls out of there, so that works. Huh. That's interesting. So we need to get this off here now. Looks like it's probably some type of a breather hose or something like that, so shouldn't be too hard to get that off. I'm surprised for this thing sitting outside, everything just comes off easy. So we got that breather hose off. Now we gotta get the coolant line off down here at the bottom. So on this side, we have these two bolts we gotta take out, and then there's a hose clamp here to get this off of the head. Try a 13/16 is correct. I sometimes just like using hand tools. It's, I don't know, gets you more close and personal with the machine, I guess. I don't know. That's sometimes how I feel anyway. All right, so that's off. Hopefully that'll pop right off. We gotta get this hose clamp off first here, and then get this boot off, and then we should be able to clear that out. Okay, might be able to pry this under here or something. There, it's loose. There we go. All right. I don't know. I should move it this way all the way. There we go. There we go. Just come off. Perfect. So we got that bottom water hose off. So we need to get this off of here because we're not going to be able to pull the head off without removing this breather hose. So we just have to unbolt it from up here. Alright, let's see if we can crack this loose. Alright. That worked out really well, actually. Perfect. Alright, so with that out of the way, we should be able to take the valve cover off now. Let's look for a 3/4 inch and loose. So that's a plus. As off. Now let's see if we can remove it. We need something to loosen it up a little. This side's free. How about this side? Seems free-ish. Alright. There we go. That actually looks pretty clean in there. There's not a whole lot of buildup or anything, so that's really nice to see. This tractor was definitely taken care of, which I would expect nothing less from my grandpa, because he just really took care of his stuff, so awesome. I guess next we need to take the valve train off here, remove these bolts, 7/8 possibly. These probably are torqued on there pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, they were tight. Them are tight. Alright, that one's loose. Let's see if we can break this one free. There we go. Oh. Wow. I need to figure out what these torques are. We are freed up now. That one's almost all the way off, so get this one caught up. So there's also an oil tube that goes over the top here, and it connects down here at the bottom, so we need to loosen that up as well. So you can see right here, this oil tube needs to be loosened. That is a 5/8. It's twisting the thread in there too. Looks like it might be a 7/8. Yep. There we go. There we go. Should be free now. We can finish taking these studs out here, and then the whole thing should come off, I think. That one off. And this should just come off. Like so. Just take it out the bottom. Now we need to take the push rods out. And they are long boys. They go in their ways. I actually don't know if I can take them out. What in the world? They're too long. So we're leaving those apparently. Alright, well, I guess. Not ideal, but hopefully we can deal with that. Alright, next step is these big boys here. I guess let's just get them out of there. Not sure what size they are. Perfect. That's a 1-inch. That doesn't fit, so they're bigger than that. I actually don't have any bigger inch. That's a 26. That won't work. 28 is too loose, so it really needs to be like a 27. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Alright, I do have a 27, and that fits perfect, so that's what we're gonna use. The torque pattern is to go from the center out, so to take it off, I'm assuming from the outside in. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully we can get these off. That's tight. It turned. Just barely. That's scary when they break free. Alright, that one's free. Alright, should all be loose. Alright, those are all off, so I mean, technically speaking, it should just pop right off of here now. We just need to be extremely cautious of these push rods to not bend them. That's really my biggest concern, because technically once it's off the studs it could fall, and then it would fall on the push rod. Broke free over here. Try to get this side. Yeah, it's broke free here now too. Man, this thing's gonna be very heavy, I'm sure. So all the videos I watched of taking these apart, they said this is extremely heavy and a 2-person job, and well, I don't have another person to help me. So yeah, that's what we got going. So we're just gonna see what we can do, I suppose. Nobody actually shows pulling this off, so I assume it's probably very difficult and it takes a while and nobody records it, so I'm gonna try to record it and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Why is this loose? Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, that's weird. Sorry, I'm blocking you with my head, but the little oil thing just came off. There's no gasket or anything. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. We're kind of to the point here where everything's loose and we need to just pull it off. Just really worried about these push rods is the biggest thing, but there's nothing I can do about that. I would have to tear apart the whole front of this tractor to get those off, and you know, as I sit here looking at it, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to take this off because it can't come out far enough past these push rods with this here. So we should probably just take that off real quick before I get too far. I'll push this back a little bit. We need to take this off here because it's definitely gonna be in the way. Unthread this hose up here. I'm assuming that's just a breather for something else as well. And then take this clamp off, and hopefully that piece will just come off, and then we should be able to pull it out far enough, assuming the generator isn't in the way. We should probably just take this generator off because it doesn't work anyway. So, and this bracket, you can see how loose this is. This bracket is actually cracked in half, so it doesn't make any sense to have it anyway. I guess we really need it more as an idler pulley for the fan than anything. For now, we're just going to take this off and hope the generator is not in the way. Alright, that's very tight. The other end is not, so I'm going to take the other end of this pipe off, and then we'll just take it off that way, I guess. I guess we could take the one off. Oh, the one on the top is loose already, so we'll just drop that down and take it off that way. I think the oil bath cleaner's in the way. We'll just take that off as well, because everything is in the way. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Oh, we got some sticks in there, so that's always good. Alright, well, I kind of got that twisted, and I got it pulled out, so we should be able to take it out. Alright, there we go, we got it off. I really wish we could get those push rods out, but we still can't do that because the support bracket for the fan is in the way. Alright, well, that's technically supporting it, but the problem is I can't slide it forward. Yeah, I don't think it's going to fit through the bottom of the housing because the bracket for the radiator is there, and that is welded in, so you can't take that out. I think it actually has to come out right here, but this is going to be in the way. Maybe. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, let's just ruin everything. Well, I guess technically we could take it out the other side if I took the generator out, which is probably what we need to do. Alright, well, we should just need to take a couple bolts off here and a bolt off here, and the generator should come off. We gotta remove these wires. I mean, none of it works anyway, so it really shouldn't matter. So, take it off real quick. Alright, I finally got these bolts and nuts loose here. There was a square bolt on it, so it took me a little while to figure out that they were square heads on them. So I did get them unthreaded, and pretty sure they've been on there since it was new, because the bolts are pretty rusted thin there. So this should be good. We take this off now and it's out of the way. You can see right here where it's cracked. So maybe I might try welding that. I know it's cast iron, but I don't know what else to do. I guess I could probably find a new bracket, but I don't know. We can't turn anymore because of the water pump. We can kind of get past it, but then we're hitting the push rod Let me get this out. It's so close. We're like ramming that push rod that we're gonna bend these. Hey, look, we got it back on. Get this out now. Hey, look, get that out. Okay. Alright, all the push rods are out. All I had to do was put the head back on, but not having the generator here made it way easier to get the push rod out. So now we should be able to pull it off, turn it, lift it out. Alright, so I decided to take this bracket out here, the fan support, I suppose you'd call it. So it should all be unbolted. Let's see. I also didn't break off any bolts, so that was good. There we go. Should have just done that from the start, and that leaves a whole lot more room here to get this out. So hopefully I'll be able to figure something out now. Please don't get stuck. Alright, I got it. Oh, you're As you can see, I finally got it off of there. Cylinders look decent, I suppose. I think we need to just clean this surface up here and then we can go from there, I guess. It's not easy to see where it was leaking either. So the head gasket looks alright. You can see like some darker spots like right here and over here. And a little bit right here in the middle. But this was the side that was towards the head. And then this side, you can see quite a bit more dark spot right here, and right here, and right in the middle. So I think like right here and over here were the failure spots, and that's where the antifreeze was getting into the cylinders. So it wasn't actually getting into, let's see, what one would have been? This one. But you can see it's much darker over here, and this is the one that had antifreeze in it. So I assume that's the failure spot right there, and hopefully the new one will fix that. I want to compare this gasket to the one that I got as well, make sure they're similar. So I'm not sure which side's which. I suppose this is that, but honestly looks identical, so perfect. It's exactly the same. So that's good. So we should be good to go. Put this in there and hopefully it will seal good. I did see some videos of people putting like copper sealer stuff on this. I don't have any, I don't think. Maybe I'll look. I don't know if I have some or not, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I mean, it might be a good idea, I guess, but I don't know. I'll see if I have some. If I have some, I'll probably spray it on there because I don't think it can hurt anything. I guess we'll get this head cleaned up and get the block cleaned up, and we will get everything put back together. well, this surface cleaned up pretty good. There are some scratches and stuff in it, but I am not going to get this faced because I don't want to spend the money. I'm sure it's not cheap to get this face down, and it'll probably be fine. I think I am going to go get some of that spray copper gasket stuff to put on the head gasket though, because it'll fill up all these tiny little imperfections, and I think that's our best bet into getting this to seal up really good. So I haven't cleaned the other side, the engine block, yet, but just going based off what this is, and it does seem to be a little low right in between the pistons here. I don't think it was leaking, but I put my kind of straight edge on here, and I put it across the cylinders like this, and there is a tiny little gap there, so I don't know. It probably isn't a big deal, and I don't think it was actually leaking there, but who knows. But anyway, this is as clean as I'm going to get it. I'm going to flip it over, clean the other side, and then we'll go to the block. Alright, we got this side of the head all cleaned up. It looks great. So not as crucial for this side, just the valve cover needs to be able to seal, and the water pipe, something water connector down here. But yeah, it's all looking really good. Looks nice and clean. So now let's get over to the engine, the block, and clean that up. Alright, well, I think I got this pretty much as clean as I can get it without taking the studs out. I just want to try to avoid taking those out, and I think it'll be alright. I mean, everything looks fine on here. There's no cracks or anything like that, so I think we should be okay getting this put back together. The one nice thing I was noticing is in the where the coolant goes, it's really clean. Like, there's not a bunch of like mud sitting at the bottom. It's just, there's nothing. It's very, very clean. So that's really nice to see. I need to get all this dirt out of the cylinders though, or all this junk. It's kind of messy in there. Get that cleaned up a little bit, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. I think the pistons have some carbon on them. Oh, it actually comes out off really easily. That's weird. Usually that's burnt on there really good. Alright, so I went and got my new bolts so we can get that stuff put back together. I also got some of this copper gasket sealer stuff. So it actually says that it's ideal for exhaust manifolds, cylinder heads, and turbocharger flanges. So hopefully it will work. I don't know, but it says it's supposed to help fill small imperfections in the surface as well, which is mainly why I'm wanting to use it. So we'll see if it works. I don't know. I see a lot of people using it. And then also, according to the old head gasket, it had this surface towards the block and this surface towards the head. But all of the research I've done, it's supposed to be the other way. So that's the way I'm going to put it on. I don't know if it matters, but I guess that's the way I'm going to do it. So hopefully I'm not doing it wrong, but I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to get this sprayed down. Alright, so we got that all painted up. So hopefully that will be fine. Just going to let it sit there and dry. We're going to get the head back in there, and we should be good to go then to get that on. cushy finger. Alright. Alright. Well, that was the hard part. My back was hurting last night from picking this up, so I highly don't recommend this, and I do recommend if you're doing this to have somebody help you, because I had a little bit of a pain in my back last night, but it'll probably be worse tonight because I had to do it again, but yeah, anyway. Alright, so now I want to get this turned, so it's gonna just kind of sitting here in the front, but to do that we need to get the jack under it so I can kind of just spin it on the jack, because it's going to be next to impossible to spin around there without the jack. And then we will get the head gasket and everything all set up. Alright, so we have the head in here now, just kind of sitting there on the jack. So now we're going to get the head gasket on there and then slide this on. Need to lean this forward a little bit. And then I don't have enough room to actually put it in there. Why did I wait? I don't know why. Why would I do that? Why? Makes no sense. Alright, we gotta lower the thing down a little bit. Let's lower this down a little bit here. There we go, and go forward with it too. Just keep going down more. Okay. It's just kind of sitting there now. So hopefully, push this forward enough to get this in here. Like so. And then slide it on where it goes. Like so. It's all got to go on evenly or else it doesn't really like to go on. The same problem getting the other one off. There we go. That's on. Now I just have to slide the head back and get that put on. Actually, where do we need to go? We need to go up more. So I'm going to jack this up. Sorry, camera's in the way. Alright, I'm gonna have to move the camera. I'm sorry, but you guys are a little in the way. Is this? Oh, it's on the jack goods. Man, this is just a pain in the butt to do it yourself. Highly recommend doing this with somebody. Alright. There we go. Really hope I'm not forgetting anything. Push rods we should still be able to put in. Hopefully. And just, let's see, I might just take this off. Take the jack out of here. Now I should just be able to slide it on the rest of the way. Like so. Now we need to torque it down. Alright, so we got these new copper washers. They're like kind of crush washers, I believe. So one of these will go on each of the head studs here. It looked like the old ones that were on here were like aluminum crush washers because they just like crushed all around the bolts and everything. I don't know if they're meant to seal. It doesn't seem like they need to seal anything, but I could be wrong on that too. And there are 9 of them. That one we need to put this back on. So this just slides on here, and there's no gasket for it, and it can rotate. It's so weird. I don't really understand that one, but not my problem. I'm sure there's a reason it's like that. And one down over here. Alright, all of those are on. And I also, there's one side that is like meant to be towards the head, I believe. So I'm gonna make sure I put that side towards the head again. So the torque spec on these I read online is 125 pound-feet of torque. So that's what we're gonna go with. I guess there's like two different studs for these. There's like a high strength and a standard. And I guess the standard is supposed to be like 95 foot-pounds, and then the high strength is 125. I don't know which ones these are, but all the other like specs I could find, everything says 125. And since this is a 1951 model, it's a later, like one of the newer ones, I assume they have a higher strength stud. So hopefully that's the case, and then we don't break any. But they were also extremely tight coming off, so I'm just going with that. Alright, got my torque wrench set to 125. So let's hope and pray nothing breaks. It says to start in the middle and go out. So hopefully, actually, you know what? We should probably torque these to like 90 pound-feet first. I'm gonna do it in 2 stages. It doesn't say to from everything I've done, but it's probably a good idea. So I'm gonna start at 90 and then we'll go up to 125. Probably should go up here. I'm gonna need an extension. I hate using an extension with a torque wrench. Now we'll go up to the 125. That should be all of them. I might just double check, make sure they're all. That one actually spun a little more, so that one also did. That one also did. Just gonna double check them. I think now I'm gonna get the push rods put in because we'll have to put the valve train on next. So let's get the push rods in there. So I also put a little bit of grease on the end of the push rods, help lubricate a little bit. I don't know how the oiling systems are on these, but I figured that really can't hurt. So get these put in. And hopefully we can get them in there. Alright. One in. Got it. It's a whole lot easier without having that bracket in the way, I tell you that. Alright, all of those are in. So now we'll get the valve train in there. Alright, let's get this set in here. Get these started somehow. Some of the ones I saw, these actually had studs. They didn't have these bolts that came out. So that's kind of weird how different this one can be. Those are both started. Everything is where it needs to go, it looks like. So let's get these tightened down. All right, I'm gonna get a socket and then we'll torque these down. So these apparently don't have a torque spec. So the video I saw, the guy torqued them down to 90. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. Probably be plenty, considering they have lock washers too. So, all right, that should be good. Honestly, the valve lash is probably correct because we didn't change anything, but I probably should just check it, make sure they're correct anyway. Like that one, a lot looser, but that's probably because it's exhaust or something. So I'm gonna check those real quick and see. I need to go figure out what the spec is for the valve lash. So we're gonna put this water pipe back on the bottom here. Got a new gasket on here. I did put some gasket sealer on the other side of this gasket because that surface was pretty rough. I want to make sure it's sealed. So we're gonna put this back on here now. Hopefully it will go easy. Kind of bend this on here. There we go. It's on there, and then we can slide this way. There we go. That should be good. Got that hose clamp there, which I think this one actually goes.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, buddy. I think this one actually goes down here, and then this one went right here. So, got our hose clamps, and then we gotta get these bolts on first to make sure it's the right tension there. So this is the water pipe here. We gotta put these nuts and lock washers on these studs here. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Here. Take the lock washer, put it on there. Can you do that? Very good. Here, put this one on the other one. Right over here.
I'm doing it.
Very good. Now, we'll put this on here. Can you thread it on all the way? I'll do this one over here.
Okay.
Turn it all the way. As far as you can get it on there. It gets kind of tight. It's okay. Is it tight? You don't gotta get it on very far. We can get the ratchet and get it on the rest of the way, okay?
That was well tight.
Okay. Very good. Well, let's get the ratchet and then we'll get it on the rest of the way.
I'm so tired.
Put it on there and tighten it up. Make sure it's on there all the way. Like that. There you go. Tighten it up. Is it as tight as you can get it? That's good. Do the other one over here.
It's tight.
Very good.
On there.
Make sure it's on all the way.
Can't get it.
Alright, I can help. There you go.
I can do it with one hand.
Yeah? Very good.
I'm trying to not bump into heel.
Try not to bump into there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And does the water come out here?
Nope, it's supposed to hold the water in. The water, you drain it right here. We gotta put the drain plug back in.
Now when you drain the water.
Well, we'll have to fill it back up before we start it though. Oh, careful. You want me to finish it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it fast. You can do it faster than me.
You got this one nice and tight. Alright, those should be tight and good. Now we need to finish getting this tight on here.
Oh, what is
That's
this?
alright.
What is this on here?
That is the air cleaner. And it's got oil on it, so you might not want to touch it, okay?
Okay.
It can get kind of messy. So we gotta tighten these hose clamps here. You gonna watch over there?
I can use a flat hand to do that.
Yep. Really the best one. How do we want a bigger one?
A big old flat hand.
Okay.
And I have toys.
You have toys?
Yeah.
You have a toy flathead?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I lost my other one.
You lost one?
Yeah, I lost a screwdriver. It's a store.
Well, that's not good.
I have to find it now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And I haven't found it yet.
You haven't found it yet?
No.
Alright. Well, I think that should probably be tight enough.
I haven't found it.
Alright, that should be good, buddy.
Okay.
Alright. Now we probably need to put the support bracket back in here for the fan.
Okay.
I think that would be a good next step.
The fan goes in here?
No, no. This is the fan right here.
Oh.
Yep. And it's a support bracket to hold this up.
Yeah, it bounces.
Yeah. Why don't we get the valve cover back on? Oh, I didn't check the lash on these. I forgot I need to go find out that spec, so I'm gonna go do that real quick. So we need 20 thousandths of an inch feeler gauge.
Wow.
So we need to find one of these that says 0.02 on it, okay?
Okay.
So we are going to go through here until we find one that says 0.02. And it looks like we have one right here. See, it says 0.02.
Yeah.
So that's 20 thousandths of an inch. So that is how thick this piece of metal is.
Okay.
All right. So now what we need to do is shove it in between here. And that's how thick that's supposed to be. And that one is loose. And this one is loose. And this one is loose. And this one is loose. They're all loose. So we need to tighten them.
Okay.
Okay? It's so weird. Oh, you turn this, not... I'm so used to there being a flathead in the end of the screw. I need a wrench that'll fit that.
Oh, what?
How big is that? Got it. Alright. So we need to loosen this. That. And then get our feeler gauge. We'll shove this in here. And then we'll tighten this. Or loosen it actually. Because that'll make it tighter. It's kind of backwards, but yeah, we need to go more. 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 I think this is actually hitting though. So right about there is where it starts grabbing. So we're going to tighten it down right there. Hold this. Tighten this. And we'll move to the next one.
Yes.
Alright, I got all the valve lash set. They should be good. They were all fairly loose, honestly, so I'm glad I checked it. So the manual actually says that once these are set, you really shouldn't have to mess with them at all. So you really just need to check them every once in a while, but it says you really don't need to. So since we took the head off, obviously that makes sense that you would need to check them. So we did, and they were loose, which I don't know the last time these were adjusted. So anyway, glad we got that done. I did get the oil line tightened down again. I almost forgot about that, so I'm glad I was in here checking all this stuff out. So let's get the valve cover back on, get our new gasket on here, and we should be good to go. So we got the valve cover gasket here. We're going to take this off. It actually did break in a spot. And it looks like they glued it on in a couple spots just to keep it in place. So we might want to do that again as well. But this one's fairly crusty. So I'm glad we have a new one. So we're gonna put this on.
Where does that go?
Oops. We'll put this on. No, if we can fit it in here somehow.
Yeah.
In the world.
Why is that in the one? How does that go down?
I don't know. Oh, there we go. It's a puzzle.
It is a puzzle.
Alright. Now we need 2 nuts that are down there.
Oh, these.
Yep, those are it.
Okay.
Can you thread one on there and I'll thread the other one on?
One on here?
Nope, right here.
Oh.
Get it started. Very good. Actually, I think there's a washer on this side. Nope, you're good. Leave it on there. That one's okay. I think there's another washer that goes on this one. Yep, right here.
Okay. I forgot about that.
Yep, that's alright.
Yeah. But mine does like a long one.
That one already has one on it. I think it's stuck to the nut.
Oh.
This one came off.
Just,
We're good now, though.
I think we forgot.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
It's alright. Then we need to tighten those up. Find the right size wrench for that now. Maybe it's this big one.
Is this one?
No.
Is this one it?
Maybe. It's a little big. That one's smaller than that. It's probably the size I don't have.
Is this one it?
That one's way too big. Yeah, it's fine. We'll just use this one. It can be adjusted to whatever size we need. It's not the best to use it, but this doesn't need to be very tight, so it'll be fine.
Can I go through it?
Yeah, you want to tighten this one?
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, heavy.
Yeah.
That size big.
Get on there. Hold on. It doesn't really want to go on there. Is it too tight? There you go. Nope, other way. Okay. Do it more. Good. A little more. Good. A little more. Maybe a little more. It's probably good, honestly. I don't want to get too tight because it's just going to start crushing this. So that's probably fine. Here, I'll check it one more time. Yeah, I think that's plenty. Alright, very good. I think we're going to get the fan mount bracket back on, and then we have like the intake stuff to do, so let's get that done.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Alright, I think it's in. It's just a real big pain to get that out of there without taking everything else apart. But
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah.
Alright, let's tighten that down real quick.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think you might have a tool over there I need.
On here.
Yeah, I need one of the big wrenches. Can you bring me one of the big ones, or a couple of them?
This one.
Nope, open end wrench. That's a ratchet. That's a crescent wrench or an adjustable wrench. There you go. I need a couple of the bigger ones of those. Bring those over.
Here's the big one.
Okay, bring those over here. Let's see if they fit.
There we go.
Thank you. Oh, we got one. Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. And that.
And Cooper.
how does the fan come off?
How does the fan come off?
Yeah.
It looks like there's like a nut on the end of the shaft and then it slides off. That'd be my guess. I've never had to take it off though, so yeah, that's fine. It's just for air anyway, so shouldn't matter. All right, that's good. Let's see, carburetor will go there. I think we need to get the fan support back on now because I think that's just the next logical thing to go in. All right, so this set in here. And these little tabs sit on top of this, like that. Like that.
I'm so stunned. I'm so stuffed.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Like I have a hope. Like I have a hope in the wire.
You haven't helped in a while? Alright, let me get one started and then you can do the other one, okay? I think the first one's gonna be a lot harder. The other one, it goes right in here. Okay, thread it in there.
Put it in there, put it in there. And I'm putting it in there.
There you go. As far in there as you can.
The fan moves.
Yeah, just a little. You get it done? Very good.
One return does.
This does move a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it should go that way a little bit more because before it
And
was
that
hitting on this.
that.
Yes, buddy.
When you turn the tractor on, then that will move very fast.
Yes, we will keep our hands away from that.
Yeah. But we will be all the way up to the seat. Can I help?
You want to tighten it?
Yeah.
Sure it's on there. Pull towards you. There you go. Oh man, you're strong. Alright, that's good. You want to do this one? Make sure it's on there all the way. There you go. Pull it towards you. Very good. You're doing great, buddy. It's good. Is it good? Not yet?
Nope. What's happening?
Alright, so I was just about to take this carburetor apart because if you recall when I pulled the tractor up, it just stopped running and just started gushing fuel out. And it made no sense at all. I turned it over to look at the bowl and I realized the drain valve is gone. It must have just fallen out when I was driving it up here. So, I just happen to have 2 more carburetors sitting here. So, I think I might pull the one off of one of these and just use it. I mean, these ones look a lot nicer, but I know that one works, so I'm just going to use it. But yeah, I'm just going to steal the valve off of one of these. It's just so weird that that happened, but who knows. Alright, I got the new valve on there, so I have no idea how that just fell out, but thinking maybe I did loosen it when I put it away for storage and I just forgot to tighten it and then it fell. We might be able to find it down there somewhere, but it actually might be in the driveway because that's where it started happening, so who knows. Anyway, let's get this back in here. Looks like the gaskets are still good, so I'm just going to reuse the gaskets there to there already. like so. Alright, that's all back together. Alright, we need to hook the fuel line back up. There we go. And we gotta get all these things hooked back up. Throttle. I think that's the throttle. Yep. And the choke. Goes in there. And then we have this solder pin. Goes through there. Oh, that's not right. Get it in here eventually. There we go. And we can open that up a little bit. Perfect. Should work now. Perfect. Throttle should work. Alright, that should be all done now. Let's get the bowl back on the air filter here. We also need to clean the sticks out of here, so we're going to do that first. I got it all cleaned out, so let's put this back on here. Fits a little better because I made a little bit more clearance for the fan, so that's good.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, Cooper.
Dun, dun, dun. I love that to make that sound.
There we go. Back on. Alright, we're going to get this exhaust back on here. Find out where that goes up there.
That's the exhaust?
This is the exhaust. It's right there apparently.
This is big.
Okay.
This is big.
Yep. And then I got new bolts and hardware and stuff for it, so should be good there. Hopefully they're not too long. That's my only concern, because this one, yeah, it's too long. So I did get some extra washers because this is just like maybe a 1/4 inch longer than the original bolt. So I'll just space it out with a couple washers and we should be fine. So, which we probably don't need lock nuts and stuff like that on here. We'll put one, why not? It can't hurt, right? Three should do it. Actually, I'm gonna do 4 because tightening it down might actually add another spot. So 4 will do it. Let's do that, and then we'll put this on, and we should be good. Hopefully, there's enough room to put all this in here. It's kind of tight under here. Yeah, you can't actually put a lock washer on there because it's too tight. So we won't be doing that. We're just gonna put the nut there and then thread the nut on. So you can see there, the bolt has to go through, but then you have to kind of thread the bolt into the nut as you put it on because there's no space behind the nut there. So that's what I'm dealing with for space, but the top one should be fine. But that's what you have to do on the bottom one. But it'll be alright. Alright, now we're going to put the generator back on even though it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I think technically the generator does work, but I think there's something up with the wiring that just, I don't know. I keep saying that I'm going to fix it, but then I just never do, so
Wow.
we're just going to keep on with that. Alright. That was tight on there once again, and now it's still broken, but oh well. Get these wires here. I got them routed around the fan shaft there, so it stays away from the exhaust. I think the only thing left to do is to get the drain plug back in for the coolant, fill it with coolant, and then we should be able to start it. Alright, so I decided I'm just going to dump the coolant that was in it back in there because it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So let's do that. I'm sure this will go nice as planned and not messy at all. Perfect.
Yeah, really good, Daddy.
Uh-oh.
It's spilling at the bottom.
Is it?
Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of.
Where is it coming out of? Or is
Oh,
it just the stuff that fell through? Yeah, I think that's just falling through from what I spilled. I think it's fine. We'll find out.
okay.
Alright, everything's back together. I think it took 10 gallons of antifreeze, so I poured one of the 5-gallon buckets back in, and then I had to pour another 5 gallons in. So it was pretty low apparently on coolant, which makes sense because the head gasket was leaking. So anyway, got the car back on, get everything put back together, I believe. We got the sediment filter bowl back on. The fuel bowl, or the carburetor bowl, is now plugged with the little fitting I showed. I got a battery in it and I think it's ready to start. So cross your fingers that we did everything correctly and it'll fire right up, hopefully. I don't have any of the doors open because it's extremely hot and humid out. It's kind of gross in here as well, but it's a lot cooler in here, so we're not going to run very long. Just going to see how it does. Hopefully it'll just fire up quick. In neutral, we got a brake on. I want to have full throttle, some choke, and clutch is disengaged. Let's see what happens. Hopefully the starter works. I'd say that's more battery than anything.
Put that battery down.
Alright. Why are we not getting any power? What am I doing wrong? Huh. I just charged this battery, so I know it's charging. Or charged. It's running. It actually fired right up. That's the fastest it's ever fired up, so I have high hopes for it. Like, it barely even needed to turn over. You've seen before in all my other videos, we have to like just crank on it, crank on it, crank on it before it fires, so that's great. Adjusting the valves probably is part of it, and just having a sealed head gasket allows for more compression, so I'm sure that's a big deal too. So we're not going to take it for a drive in this video. I want to do the clutches, or the clutch discs that Thomas sent me. I want to do that. He sent me new plug wires and plugs and all that stuff, so I want to put all that on as well. But this is going to be the end of this video. You saw it run. It runs really good, hopefully. Started way better. So we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.